I recently started my own brokerage. We cover the greater Denver metro area. We specialize in, obviously, residential real estate, but I think what kind of sets us apart is really our marketing.
That's fantastic. Tell me a little bit about your marketing.
So I have a brilliant graphic designer. Her name is Madeline Linder. She's actually my business partner. And we've created an entire suite of collateral for our agents to use because we really designed it with both the agents that we wanted to attract and their potential clients in mind. And we ask the agents, like, what do you need? What do you want to see from us? What do you want us to provide? So along with that, we do things like a magazine that we put out quarterly that they can use along with their listing and buyer presentations. We're also, I'm super excited about this, creating a neighborhood guide that will go along with the magazine, and it's just going to be a beautiful resource, especially for buyers and for people relocating to Colorado or who maybe aren't as familiar with the Denver area. It's just going to be like a gorgeous piece that hopefully they'll keep forever.
That's really cool. You do that quarterly.
Well, the neighborhood guide will hopefully just happen once. Yeah.
Okay.
But the magazine we do put out quarterly, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you do everything in-house?
We do. So from start to finish, Madeline's history and background is in, she used to work in ad houses, so she's really used to turn and burn design. So it's like we share a brain. So I'll just have like a crazy idea, like, hey, you know what we should do for the agents this week? Like, let's come up with 5 different greeting cards that they can just come into the office and grab to, do their handwritten cards. And so the next day she just has them all laid out and she's like, what do you think about these? And we order them. And so things like that, we work really on the fly and very quickly, where I think other brokerages kind of get stuck either needing to get approved by a franchisee maybe, or needing to go through different channels to get stuff approved. We're just like, yes, we love it, let's do it.
That's awesome. There's definitely something to be said about being small and nimble.
Yes, exactly.
For sure,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So is this your first time at Connect?
This is probably my 15th Connect.
No joke.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been coming to Connect since before I was a realtor. So I started my real estate life working for a software company that designed websites for large independent brokerages. So I used to be kind of the client liaison and really got my feet wet doing that before I ever got my license. So I love the Inman events.
That's awesome. What about this one? Particularly, let's talk about technology.
I think this is an interesting time for real estate technology. There's some really great tools coming out, but I think for me, using the tools to get back to basics is the key. So my agents all have really strenuous sales training. So instead of getting distracted by the bright and shiny, I look for 1 or 2 things that I think we can really implement and do well, rather than trying to do all the things. So I'm excited though about the things I've learned about here.
That's awesome. Anything specific that you'd like to share that you've learned here that you're taking home and putting into play?
So I think the thing I'm most excited about is Brownie Box. I don't know if you had a chance to check them out. They do amazing digital staging. The stuff they're doing is really going to change. I think the way that people, it might not be necessary to stage homes anymore, which would be amazing. Because our listings sell so fast too, so bringing in a whole house full of furniture is not always ideal, for 2 weeks or 3 days that the house is on the market. So being able to digitally stage, I think, is going to be something really fun to play with.
Very cool. Brownie Box.
Brownie Box.
Like a good chocolate brownie?
I thought they were going to be send out cards system
I'm a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie.
No chocolate involved.
Darn it. But oh well. Virtual staging is awesome.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Very cool. So let's talk about, you're a broker owner and you've been in the business for years. Tell me, what is advice that you would give a new agent in the industry?
Well, luckily I get to do that all the time. I do hire brand new agents. So my main things for them are focus on your database and don't be afraid to ask for the business. Part of that comes from the Ninja selling system. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So I've gone through Train the Trainer, and I just really believe that they have such a strong foundation in their training for new agents. So no matter what type of training new agents go through, like there needs to be something, right? And they need to have accountability, so if they can find a partner or a coach, whether that's their managing broker or someone else that they work with. Or for me, it was my mom for the longest time. Like I used to fill out an accountability sheet every single week, and if I didn't, like my mom would bug me about it, and she held me accountable for years. So I think focusing on your database instead of chasing leads, like focus on the relationships you already have.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Mom.
She'll take full credit for everything.
Where do you see the future of real estate with all of the technology changing?
I am not like a person that's afraid of robots at all. I really believe that all of the technology that we can implement, as long as we do it well, and as long as it leads to a better customer experience, like it frees us up to do other things. Like, can you imagine like handwriting contracts now? Like it would take so long, and then not only that, but like delivering those contracts, driving maybe across town, having to go back and forth, or even use a fax machine, right? So like, what are we doing now though with those free hours like that we like have because of electronic software and contracts? So hopefully we're prospecting and nurturing the relationships that we have, and I think that will only get more and more important as technology like helps us be better.